Okay, good morning, guys and girls. Today we're going to talk about step number 7, which is deciding your path. Which way do you want to build your business? How are you going to build your business? And you need to understand, again, if you go back to step number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way through, if you missed all the sessions we did before, I suggest you go to our YouTube channel and take a look at what was going on. Watch these videos so that you can be, aligned with us right now at step number 7. So let's talk about how to decide how you're going to build this business. There's basically 3 different ways to build the business. Number 1 is buying your business, and I'll talk about that. And then you can also wait for it to find you, or you want to go out and earn it. Okay? Now, you can do combination between 1 and 3, which is the best. You can also do 2, which is what most agents do, and that's why most of them fail. So let's cover exactly what is buying your business. So many top producers use a lot of the revenue that they make in order to purchase business. How do you purchase business? Number 1, you can reduce your commission. You go on a listing presentation, you talk to the seller, you say, okay, my commission is 6%, seller is negotiating the commission, and you end up walking away with a 4% listing. You just gave out 2% of a 500,000 house. That's 10 grand that you left on the table. That's how some agents buy business. They just reduce commission. Another way is advertising. You send out postcards, you do billboards, you do full page ads in magazines, you do, there's so many different ways for you to purchase advertisements and get leads from it. Farming is another way of doing it. Magazines, as I spoke about, full-time ads in magazines, depending which magazine. Some of them are cheaper, some of them are a lot more expensive, so it really depends. But that's what buying business means. You're spending money, people call you, and when they call you, hopefully you have the skills to turn those leads into appointments and then into agreements, if it's a buyer agreement or if it's a seller's exclusive listing agreement. Another way is to go on Zillow and Trulia and purchase buyers' leads. Another way is going on Google, pay-per-click. You can do mass marketing, you can do events, you can join some country clubs and build relationships with people in certain neighborhoods, and you can do big donations to local politicians. There's a lot of different ways, guys and girls, to buy business. Now, I always suggest to combine buying business with going out there and actually earning it. That's the best way to do it. Now, at the beginning stage, if an agent is starting in their career, they don't have the money to invest in the business. And I actually recommend them not to do that, even if they had the money. Because you need to acquire skills, and the only way to acquire skills is actually to go out there and do the actions, take the actions, and do the necessary things that needs to be done in order for you to start accumulating the knowledge and the skills necessary for you to turn leads into appointments. And that's what it's all about. Some other agents, which are passive agents, they wait for business. Okay, many agents, especially new agents and low producers, tend to sit down at their office or somewhere and wait for someone to hand them leads. You can see this language all across the board. A lot of agents that don't do business because they don't know how to generate leads. That's the first problem in our industry. People don't know how to generate leads. They don't know how to generate leads. They end up on a team working for someone else and begging for buyers' leads. Oh, this is a shitty lead. Give me another lead. This is not a good lead. Give me another lead. And they just keep chasing a good lead because they don't have skills to turn a lead into an appointment. They call it a bad lead. And if you do that on a team, you're obviously not going to make as much money because the teams are not going to be able to pay you high commission split. So, in the majority of teams, you're going to go anywhere, you're going to get paid 30% of the commission. In some cases 40, in some cases 50% of the commissions, but there's not a lot of teams where you can make more than 50% of the commissions. All right? Agents who wait for business simply wait for business to fall on their lap. And they don't do much in order to go get it because they don't have the skills. They don't know. They don't have the how-to. These are dependent mindset individuals who will never be able to break through and create their own business and build a brand. Guys, 80% of the agents who join our industry fall in this category. People who don't, or they refuse to learn the skills and put the time into it to discover what it takes for someone to actually get a lead. I can give you a for sale by owner lead right now. Can you turn it into an appointment? Can you turn the appointment into a listing presentation, a successful listing presentation that ends up with you taking that listing? And if the answer is no, That's what you should really focus on doing. So the majority of agents don't want to invest the time, or they don't want to go through the learning curve, or the pain of rejection. So they just sit on a bench waiting for leads, and they end up being a dependent mindset and agent who works on a team, or they work for a company that gives them leads here and there and a very low commission split. And trust me, if you don't want to learn the skills it takes for you to learn how to generate your own leads and convert your own leads, you'll always be dependent. And when you're dependent, you deserve lower commission. And that's just how the nature of this business is. So I recommend you to stay away from this behavior of being a passive agent waiting. Another way to wait for business is people who do open houses and just sit there and wait for buyers and pray that buyers will walk in, and try to convert these buyers into a customer, a client. So what to avoid right off the bat? Waiting for business is not going to make you any money. Being dependent in our industry is not going to make you any money. That's why at session 1, 2, 3, we spoke about building a business, what it means to be a self-employee, how to go to become a business owner. When you become a business owner, what does that mean? How should you behave? What should happen with money when you start making money? How to divide the money, and doing all these different things we spoke about already. All right, the third way is go out and earn it. These are active agents. All top producers fall in this category. Go-getters are the majority of top producers, people who actually go and get. What does that mean? It means that you actually get up every day and you generate leads. And then you get up and you convert these leads by doing lead follow-up. So active daily prospecting, what is that? Well, prospecting is all across the board, reaching out to people in order to book appointments. That's the definition of prospecting in real estate. So calling for sell by owners, calling expired listings, calling geographical farm, just listed, just sold. If you call people around your active listings or around our company's active listings and solds, you can go around, do door knocking. You can call investors, you can call your past clients and center of influence, you can call, you can also do constant texting and emails to qualified leads and reach out booking appointments. Consistent lead follow-up is also considered prospecting, calling qualified buyers and sellers to book an appointment. And then consistent smart marketing and advertisement. So actively generating leads is what we're talking about here. Actively generating leads. Now, if an agent starts in our industry with no money and they need to make money as soon as possible, the problem is that you can fall into a place where you are chasing leads without the skills to do that. So if you find a lead and you don't know how to turn that lead into an exclusive buyer agreement or into an exclusive right to sell, a listing agreement, then you will get the leads and burn the leads. You will call them bad leads. You think that the lead is not ready, but it's not about the lead is not ready, it's you're not ready. So at the beginning of your career, if you are a low producer or a brand new licensee or someone who's not doing enough deals and you want to go to your next level, the first thing you got to focus on is building skills, which is what we spoke about last week. Building skills. Which kind of skills you need to build? Build skills in prospecting, build skills in lead follow-up, build skills in handling objections. What do you say when a seller tells you, I don't want to list my property right at this moment in time? What do you say when a for sale by owner says I can do it myself? What do you say when an expired listing tells you, all of you agents are all the same? Like, if you know how to handle all these objections ahead of time, if you can practice role play, chant out loud the scripts and dialogues, internalize those scripts and dialogues and make them yours, you can then become an active prospecting agent who is always out there, not just generating leads, but know how to turn those leads into appointments and then the appointments into exclusive agreements. You guys are going to get paid at closing. That's how you make money in real estate. And because of that reason, if you don't have the skills to go from point A to point Z, meaning take a buyer, meet with them, sit down, explain to them how you work, sign a buyer exclusive agreement, start showing them properties, put offers, get the offers accepted by negotiating the deal, go into contract, and then the transaction coordinator is going to do the rest of the job for you all the way to closing and keep you posted on what you need to do so that you can go focus on doing that, with someone else. On the seller side, you need to do follow-up. You have to call it for sale by owner. You have to follow up. You have to pre-qualify the appointment. You need to go out there, do a listing presentation. You need to handle objections. You need to take the listing, put the listing in MLS, and then get it sold. So if you're gonna just sit and wait for business, like a lot of people do. Okay, I'm talking about people here in the middle. You're not going to go too far. Now, there's also other agents who buy their business and they spend 90% of the revenue of the money they're making, spend 90% of that money to go out and buy business. Go out and purchase business like they do. They reduce commissions, they do billboards, they do stupid advertisements that not really giving them any leads. And then they don't have the skills to turn those leads, so a lot of these leads go to the garbage. A lot of these agents are losing a lot of money. I've seen agents that make $500,000 a year, and on the 1099 they made $500,000, and then when you look at how much money they have in a bank account, they have 20 grand. So what's the difference between an agent who spends $400,000, $480,000 on running their business and make 20 grand versus someone else who closed and net 20 grand from doing 4 transactions? No difference. So the richest, the most profitable agents are the third group. Go out and earn it. If you know how to build those skills that will allow you to then talk to FISBOs, expired listings, and get listing appointments, go out there and get the listing. If you have the skills to negotiate, if you have the skills to handle objections, you will be able to get a lot more listings, and the ones who get most listings are the ones who make the most money. Top producers are active agents. They choose to be in consistent action, prospecting, lead follow-up, listing presentation, handling objections, negotiating deals. That's the only thing you should be doing. Everything else should be done by someone else. Top producers also constantly get in action and hold other people accountable to do the same. So if you're a top producer and you have someone on your team, you're going to hold them accountable to certain standards. Right? They understand that action creates reaction. They understand that being passive is a waste of time, and they also invest money in their business to create repeat and referral business as well as build a brand. But they do that smartly. You should never spend more than 20% of the money you're making on advertisements and promotions. And when you do that, you need to make sure, you need to measure results, you need to understand how to do that. We will talk about it in other sessions, other videos, how to spend your money, and on which things you should really focus on spending money, and how to create and generate leads. But the best way to generate leads is to be active prospector. If you can become an active prospector, someone who gets on the phone every single day, calling for sell by owners, calling expired listings, calling your sphere of influence, calling past clients, calling investors, calling for rent by owner, calling people and conversing with them and turning these phone calls into appointments, and then pre-qualify the appointments, and then go out and meet with these people to take an exclusive agreement. That's the job, that's the game, that's what you need to understand, that's what you need to do. Making the right choices to become a successful top producer, you must be taking consistent action as well as understanding the commitment, dedication, and focus that it takes to achieve high levels of production. So consistent action is the name of the game here. All right, next week we will talk about how to determine if you should be a buyer agent or a seller's agent, what's the difference between the two, and all that stuff. If you have any questions regarding this particular session, I would suggest that you will post your questions on our WhatsApp mentoring group, and this way I can answer the questions for everybody, and everybody can see your question and listen to the answer, which is the best way to do that. So thanks for listening, and I will see you guys on Sunday.